Welcome. It's so good to be in our circle where magic happens.
So that's great. We are here in the right time at the right place for each one of us. And in preparation for this class today, I was working with the fire. And the wind can blow the fire away, or it can blow it up, make it bigger. And so, just like everybody else, I go in the wind and in the water. And we started with the earth, which is a material plane. And that material plane got into the mountain energy, which is building a strong foundation. And without that strong foundation, we are susceptible to the water waves, tsunamis of emotions, and wind blowing, and somebody else's thoughts coming. And so we were building the foundation of understanding that at the bottom, when we put what the values, the things that are important, then we can restrain our necessity to grasp everything else, because now we know what we're about. So this whole process for me is about understanding those elements that are not there fully in my awareness. Of course, we have it within the body, within the mind, we are made out of them. But when we're not aware, the wind takes us sometimes places that are amazing, and we want it to be there, and sometimes it's completely unconscious. So once the foundation is built, it is time to get to the mountaintop, to look what's going on, and then let it go, let the energy of that restraint to be unlocked, and the water flowing and finding the new direction. And this energy is about finding the direction that works for you. And how do we know that? Is when our heart is rejoicing, where we feel it in the heart. That's the place we need to go. But very often we say, no, it shouldn't be that easy, or no, somebody else will not like it, or whatever else happens. And we actually live in three worlds, more than three, but three very vivid worlds. The world of the thought, which is the upper chakra, the crown, the third eye, the throat, our expression, is all about thinking and talking. And our thinking is often convoluted, and the talking is often convoluted, and we use the words without really thinking. We have those phrases that we could just throw like that without thinking much. And then in the lower chakras, there is this world of emotion, the survival, the love, and wanting to create, and stuck in our creation. And our soul is screaming for it. So those three lower chakras are all about reaction to this. We think, and then we react. And as we react, the body reacts. And then we think more, and we react. And so the heart is that place where we can reconcile what's going on, what is going on. And so the wind brings a lot of information. We want it all, because we are not confined in a physical body, even though it looks this way. We want it all. And so when the wind comes with the information, that moment of dispersion is great for a moment. But if we're consistently dispersed, that's where we are going to get into these ups and downs and places where we don't want to be. So for me, that place that is in the middle of all of it is the heart, that has a huge field of influence. But that heart needs to reconcile. It needs to check and decide, this is me, and this is not necessarily me. And when the heart is smiling, which happens rarely, because we are between this and that in the emotional turmoil, when it smiles, then you know it's yours. And if it doesn't smile, the fire that we're bringing in today is for us to burn the trash, because you cannot go over the threshold if it's up to here. You need to create that space. So the fire today, we're going to look into what it is that makes us fiery being, what is our inner spark, what makes us alive, and what is our passion, and become aware of what wants to be burned down and what needs to come out. So we are gonna find these energies of fire that are missing. Sometimes we have so much water. I'm a crybaby, like you would not believe it. I cry for happiness and for sadness. And sometimes those are so intertwined, it's impossible to understand what I'm crying about. But everybody knows that, and I'm not hiding it anymore because it's a lot of stress to hide. So much easier to just let it go, just the water down the mountain. And so we can cry the cries of joy, but we also can use the fire to distill the message, to get it out, to get the toxins burned down, to get the threshold in a place where we can actually step over and get ourselves going. So, Alexandra.
Important to look at the, like, I guess for me, this is where the I Ching is such an inspiration, that it makes so crystal clear that there is the yin energy and the yang energy in everything. And in the grand scheme of things, there is an equal amount of it. And I see it as that there are always two sides to each equation, that there are always two sides to each process, or rather actually four, because there is beginning, there is ascent, there is peak, descent, and then there is that process of creative destruction, of rest and rejuvenation. So fire can be of great service on both sides of this, both as we grow something, the heat of the fire can support the growth, but fire is really powerful agent of creative destruction. And in our culture, it's so easy to get fixated on just liking the bright and shiny and not liking this downward part of the cycle, and especially the sleep, I guess the death and the renewal part of the cycle. Our culture is extremely resistant to accepting that that's part of being alive, that on some level, if we would never die, we wouldn't be alive. Like that's the definition of life, is what that which grows and then it declines and renews. So fire is this super powerful agent of transformation. And I can claim that even though my mind understands the important essential aspect of these opposite side of the equation, opposite side of the coin, even though I walk around talking about this, when it comes to actually allowing things to deconstruct and burn off, I don't think I'm that much better than an average human in saying it's okay. And I also tell, especially women, been told that when there is a heat wave going through our body, that that's a symptom of something unwholesome. I actually feel, I've seen in transformational work young men going through waves of heat through their body. So everybody goes through it when we are ready to release and burn off that which no longer serves us. So I very much tell my friends, if you feel a flow of heat through your body, rejoice. It means you are releasing that which no longer serves you. It's actually awesome to have that available to us. And yeah, fire, like playing with fire is a whole other dimension. And I guess for those of us who do live in fire-prone landscape, I've been researching it a little bit, and nearly every forestry manager says we need to do regular prescribed burns. That's what needs to be done. That's how we prevent disastrous fires. We willingly set things on fire before we build up too much fuel, then it's going to be a conflagration. So the forestry management experts agree that playing with fire is a good idea, and yet, yeah, the risk is huge. And here we are together playing with fire.
Right. And I'd like to bring one more idea that really shows up for me. Last month, I've been traveling to Sunnyland, and Chicago doesn't wake up those thoughts. Maybe now when it's a little more sun, but being in Florida and Mexico really connected me to the sun energy. And sun energy is, for me, is the same fire, because sun can burn. You can direct the fire of the sun to burn just the same way. It burns your skin if you don't protect yourself, and it also gives a tremendous amount of fuel. So you can move at the speed of this light that the sun sends, right? Everything goes from that sun energy. And I am not a lunar being. I know many women are very much connected to moon. And I was always noticing how moon affects me in a very strange way. I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I cry a lot. This is not my entity. And the sun is very much mine. I'm very solar. I'm very much connected to the sun. And there is a whole big other idea that we are all solar beings. But if we live in particular areas, we become more lunar. So I would like to invite us to also consider being the solar beings, charging ourselves and using that energy for creation, for the speed of creation, for allowing ourselves to be charged enough to move through life at the speed of light, or faster if you wish. If you move through life at the speed of thought, that would be awesome. But that's about other class.
But we also need water, and water, like emotion, moves at the speed of water, and it's way slower, and it's essential. We need both.
Right. All right. So how about we are going to move into our inquiry and project. Yeah. So today we're going to explore the creative spark, the passion, the fire within you. But you can use this same process to ask any questions that you want. But this process actually was inspired by inspired inquiries from the intentional creativity teacher, Jennifer Joy. And she has other wonderful inquiries. And I like that one a lot because I use my own questions, of course. But the idea that you can talk to yourself and you don't need a psychotherapist or anybody else for that matter, your husband or your wife, or nobody needs to be there for you. You need to be there for you. So you're going to open your journal or big page or whatever you have. We're working on a big surfaces, so we have space. And for this part, you can have a regular size or double size, is up to you. And on the top, you're gonna write the question, what is my true passion? Or you can write a question about what is my spark. Or you can write something like, where do I lack the passion of my life? Or what might be the passion of my life? Or what might be my spark? Or what makes me feel alive? So anything in that area on the top, what is my fire? What is my passion? What is my love for life, where it's coming from? And on this side, going vertically, you're gonna write down something like what stands in the way. So however you wanna phrase it, you can phrase it, what is in the way of my dreams and passions, or you can say what beliefs block me, or you can say something like what or who dims my fire. So whatever question you have, this is mine, you can use your own, but the idea is that you are going to ask the question on the side, and on the bottom you are going to ask another question, which for me was, where are my hidden resources? What are my blessings in disguise? And you can ask anything you want. What is it that I'm not acknowledging or seeing or appreciating that actually contributes to me having that fuel, that fiery energy? So once you write those two questions, we are going to write down the answer to the first question. Then we're going to turn it sideways, and you're going to start answering the second question, writing from the side down, and then you're gonna turn the page upside down, and on this on that upside down, you're gonna write down everything that you feel response to that third question. So you're writing to let it out, you're like writing that to ignite the fire. So it's not about writing it in grammarly proper language or making it beautiful. It's about letting it out. It doesn't have to be readable. It's just for you to have that conversation, to ignite everything that has been deemed hiding underneath, brewing somewhere where it needs to come out. And we're gonna work fast because it's the energy of the fire. Go for it. While you're gonna be doing that, I will be painting, just to put it in your field, to give you the sense of working with the passion on the canvas. And we're gonna take 3 to 4 minutes to do that. And be as real as you can possibly be, because that is your chance to examine and let it out. So we're working with intentional creativity processes. This is our Red Thread Connect. For everybody who's listening and seeing it later, we are putting the energy of the fire into the field, and all our intentions to identify and find and then ignite and then burn it bright or burn it down, everything that we need to do within our soul, within our body, within our community, within our home, within our family, within our globe, within the cosmos, in order to be the spark of creation and the process of creation and the creation of our creation. So once your writing is done, you're gonna make 3 lines, one on top, one in the center, and one at the bottom. So the top line is the cosmic energy, the cosmic fire, the energy of the Milky Way. And in the middle, it's here and now. It's what you're reconciling in your heart. It's being present and discerning. Where am I and what am I doing? The next one. Yeah. So I'm using both Russian and English because I discovered that working with both languages is absolutely rewarding and opens up a whole new world. So the world at the top is the mental ideas, things that are coming to you. In the middle is what's happening for you now. What are you manifesting through your heart? And at the bottom is the intent. And the intent is an interesting idea here, because when we intend, we sometimes we're asking, please give us this, please give us that. But the idea is when your intent is supported not by the emotion of I don't have and how can I have, but by the emotion there is a possibility like that. It exists somewhere. How wonderful would it be? Wouldn't it be that amazing if that possibility would magically open up? Then that which blocks you steps away and gives the way. So once you make those 3 lines, you sort of create the worlds of your being. And then in between those worlds, I invite you to create a symbol that is about resources, that is about possibilities, that is about clearing the way, burning down the stuff that is necessary, bringing in the fuel for something else. So this is my symbol. There are letters that have meaning for me. And it's about me being a God creator within myself, connecting to the creation of everything. In that moment, right there, I am. And I am life. I am that which creates life. So every intent, my reconciliation goes with the understanding if that intent life creating or life destroying. I'm not talking about destroying different parts that needs to be destroyed. I'm talking about as a whole, my creation is for life or against life. So any symbol that comes to you, I'm just giving you an idea, but it's your own. That symbol is a message, what's coming from your writing, from your communication. So the symbol is the communication of your heart. It's there. If it doesn't happen right now, your heart is still communicating. So we are gonna let it brew and work its way through. And if you feel like continuing working on this, you are totally welcome to do that. And we are gonna move into the fire energy, a little closer to the fire. And as the fire connects to your soul, the symbols and the messages are gonna become more vivid. So it's almost like a key. That symbol that you're doing right now is opening, it's unlocking the fire. And we are gonna just find a place that is somewhat comfortable. We're not gonna fall asleep, of course, but we're gonna wanna make sure that you have a space. And if you wanna close your eyes, of course, you can close your eyes or you can continue working. And in your mind's eye, just imagine that you're walking in the dark. And it's just before the sunrise. And you got up off your bed. It's a little dark. And you're just not sure if you want to continue sleeping or you want to move around. But there is no light in your room. And only you can illuminate that space. And it's a little chilly too, so you want to warm yourself up a little bit. And there is a little table, and right on that table is a candle. And it's not lit. So with a power of your imagination, you're going to light up this candle and see its flame begins dancing in front of you. And you start focusing on that fire. Now you can sit down and straighten your spine and gaze at the candle flame. Inhale the warm golden energy of the flame slowly and allow this deep breath to start warming you up, building your internal flame. Extend your attention to create a larger connection between the warmth of the flame and your face. Imagine that your face starts feeling warmer and warmer. Pleasant sensations are moving through your cheek and nose and forehead and eyes. And you start relaxing your face, taking few deep breaths, allowing yourself to absorb the experience and notice even the smallest changes within your body right now as you are connecting to the image and the sensations of the fire. And now imagine taking this candle off the table and moving around. You feel your hands getting warmer and warmer as you go from one room to another, lighting up the dark corners. Finally, you approach a nice, beautiful fireplace. It is located in the corner of the room, and with your candle, you light up the dry wood in the fireplace. And now the room gets brighter and warmer. You sit down by the fire and you bring your attention to your root chakra, the base of your pelvis, visualizing the golden flame reaching its energy to warm you up. As the fire in the fireplace grows, you see the sparks of light reaching up like fireflies. Bring the visual of flaming fire within and notice that your base energy is growing in intensity. Imagine that each spark of light represents something that nurtures your survival, the sense of belonging, the sense of perfect timing, the feeling of being blessed by this moment. When you feel fulfilled, move your attention onto the second chakra, the abdominal area. Bring the vision of warm flames into your lower belly. Let it get brighter, attracting sparks of light to feed it. Each spark represents the energy that feeds this area, the fire of passion and sensuality, the joy of love, the drive to create, the power of being alive. Let your visions feed this area until the flame feels full. This fire is a remarkable cleanser that can burn away toxic thoughts, relationships, and matters. It draws your attention and the challenges ahead, stimulates your creative process, intensifies your attention, and amplifies your power to survive and thrive. This energy, called Agni, awakens your digestive fire, the source of your vigor, your resourcefulness, and a sense of personal power. It is the spark of life that ignites your will to act and transform the raw materials of your dreams into tangible forms. Your body emanates warmth, excitement, and love for life. Your soul is filled with ecstatic fire. You make wise choices and digest what life challenges you with ease. Your inner fire sustains your divine purpose and ignites your awareness. Now move the heat-giving flames into your solar plexus. Breathe with warm sensation growing there. What do you need to ignite the fire of your solar plexus? The seed of your soul. Feed this area with the commitment to follow your soul guidance, sovereignty, and appreciating your path of self-discovery. Envision tools, skills, collaborations you can create to find fulfillment and how to bring your divine shining spark to the world. As your solar plexus begin to warm up, a brilliant yellow lotus flower with 10 flaming petals opens up, radiating from the center of your body. Bring your attention to this mystical power and resonate it with the sound Ram. Repeat this ancient vibration to further awaken and sustain the life-giving glow of your lotus. Feel the sound vibration and notice the energy flowing effortlessly through your body. Radiant light and warmth continue emanating as you are breathing deeply, focusing on the fire flower of your solar plexus and repeating that sound, Ram, on each exhalation until you feel infused with the feeling of strength and possibility.
The lotus flames are reaching all the way up to your heart now. Their light feeding your heart with the sensations palpably felt of compassion, grace, trust, loving relationships, acceptance, understanding, and forgiveness. Feel your heart beating stronger, bursting with the ecstasy of being alive. Your whole body begins to dance, following the fast rhythm of your heartbeat and movements of the flame. You begin to remember and to feel who you are. I am dynamic, persuasive, and spontaneously free. I am animated and exuberant, easygoing, open, and forthcoming. I feel a deep desire to live and create. I create relationships that are light giving and joyful. The fire of my passion burns through any and all conflicts and obstacles. I feel enthusiastic and inspired by life. Now invite these flames to warm up your throat. Feel the heat melting away unspoken words that were stuck, misunderstandings, disappointments, Burning bright, the dancing, swirling fire is clearing the energy of your throat and filling it up with the energy of the bold, powerful self-expression. This fire creates a space for clarity and for fearless truth, compassion, and intentional, mindful expression of your voice. You can now direct the flames towards the space between your eyebrows. Channel this energy to illuminate which of your creative vision is asking to be born right now. Feed your growing vision with creative sparks, free from any attachments, dancing freely. The flames make the vision of your innermost dream brighter and brighter as you accept and honor your dreams and allow your focus to hone in on what matters to you the most. You feel the power to manifest your dreams. New ideas fire you up, and you feel like this beautiful fireworks call you into celebration of all possibilities. The highest flames reach up and create a ring around your head. The fireworks of the sparkling lights forming a gorgeous crown that looks like an open hand extended into the universe. Fed by these sparks, your desire for deep revelations, the union with the divine, and an inspiration to create come alive. Breathe in, and with an exhale, send the energy of this rapturous fire down the front of your body, feeding and rejuvenating yourself with these warm, bright flames. And then, with your breath rising it up your spine, feeding the fire of your whole body, and continuing to feed all of these creative flames. As you sit enveloped in this warm magic energy, you begin to perceive the golden flames in front of your eyes, forming into words and coded by these sparks. These words are entering your mind and permeating your entire body. You are a transformational force of life. I am. I can tame the power of fire to create a caring, sustainable environment for my life. I can make a decision to move through life, creating fertile soil for creative collaborations. I am energetic, intentional, and innovative, and I can joyfully implement healthy practices to sustain my inner fire continuously. I breathe fully and deeply to sustain my fire element, and I move in sync with my ingenious vigor. I can respond to my soul's calling and follow through with my aware action. Now, gently pull your right hand on your belly or keep it where it is if it feels right, and your left hand on your heart. In your mind's eye, turn your sight towards the window in this warm and cozy room you're in, and see in your mind's eye the sun beginning to rise on the horizon, filling the sky with its golden rays. You feel the warmth of your entire body luxuriating in this radiant waves of warmth, of this loving creative energy. As the first rays of sun are coming into the room and touching your skin, feel that sun, feel its Agni, its sacred fire of transformation. Feel your golden self and know that you are not in the universe. The universe, full of potentials and possibilities, is in you. You transform the world by transforming yourself. Feel the gratitude for your inner fire that's allowing you to live and to create. And feel gratitude for your ability to expand and to become one with the Agni of the world. And whenever you're ready, gently rock and gently open your eyes, refreshed and inspired to create mindfully and intentionally.
All right, very good. So thank you. We've gotten some of the fire messages in the body. Hopefully you also felt the physical, chemical reactions. That's what thoughts are capable of doing for us. So we should use it for the goodness of our body. And now we're moving to the second part of our project, which is 10 images taken out of magazines if you have any, and just put it on the page. If you don't have any magazines, we always invite you to have collage supplies as part of the class materials. So if you have any images, it doesn't need to be anything specific. It could be images, words, pages from the magazines or newspapers or whatever you have around you. And the secret here is that you are taking the energy of the fire to do that. So it's because you want it to be surprising. You don't want it to be very organized according to your ideas. You will organize it later. And on the spread, on a bigger page, on 2 pages, if you can, you are gonna use the glue or the Scotch tape, doesn't matter, whichever works faster. I like the Scotch tape because I don't have patience for little details. Just put the images as you find them, just put them on the page intuitively, however they go. So we're not gonna worry about one image covering another. Just pull out whatever looks good for you, whatever attracts your attention, and put it all on the page. And Alexandra, you can show the idea, but don't keep it for too long because we don't want anybody create my project. I want you to create your own project. So this is part of that spread, page 1 on the left, and this is the right side and the left side. And this is how it looks together. So I was not even worried about how they match together or they flow to each other. I was just grabbing whatever felt good. All right, let's just do it really fast. And like I said, I'm going to be continue painting to bring the energy of the creation into the field. And since I'm doing it with you, I don't have much time. I'm using my fingers because that's, for me, it's much faster. So for those of you who didn't paint for a while, that's the easiest way because you can work with the fingers even if you don't know how to paint. Your fingers will always do the best for you. Depending how much time, space you have, you can do 10 images or more. Just bravely go for it. Okay, once it's done, you can take a small circle like this. I make a circle like that. Or you can use a lid from something. But this actually creates a better focus for me. And moving, make it small enough, like really small, about an inch or maybe even smaller. And move that lenses of your camera, that focus that you've created, move around the page and find one piece that kind of stands out for you, that you want to have it as a center from which everything goes into flames. So once you put all your images and you connect them with the tape or the glue or with anything that you're using, make a circle like that and start moving your focus, your attention around the page. And you know that you can do gazillions of these collages anytime you want. This is just for you to get the flow, to get the inspiration, and then you can do as many as you wish with any questions you want. So for this exercise, we are gonna ask a question: what is my creative spark? Show me creative spark, or show me the way, or show me something, what you want to see. For me, it was interesting to see what is the most inspiring part for me. Where do I get my biggest inspiration? Because I am moving through life like a fire. Everything is interesting. I'm consuming all of it. Creation cannot be rushed, I know. Now, when we have the page and we found the focus, did we find the focus? Are we looking for the focus? It's important to have the focus, you know. All right, so make a circle, and whatever you have already might be just enough. Because like fire, we want it all, we want it all.
And allow yourself to be surprised. Allow that spark to come from an unexpected place.
So find the circle and the focus. And for those who are working faster, the next step would be to set it all on fire. So how you do it, Zendra is going to show you. You can take a paint, a brush loaded with the fire paint, or you can use the markers, or you can use even the black marker if you don't have red marker, it doesn't matter. But the idea is that you are bravely moving around and burning the stuff. So as you burn the stuff, the messages will be in between the flames. You are gonna find some messages in between the flames. And right now, when you burn it, do not look for the messages. That's the secret. If you start looking for the messages as you're burning, you are not gonna let it burn. You will not let it dance. The fire needs to be dancing, you know, dancing fire is important, ecstatic dance. So take your brush and you can do the flames, or you can do the circle, or you can do anything you want, just move it freely and let it cover a lot. So the message would be distilled through this process. Otherwise, you're gonna have so many confusing messages. Oh my God. Let yourself play. Playfulness, that's the key.
That completely counterintuitive principle of creation, be willing to let it all go.
So if you never played and if you are scared, this is just one collage. You can do more later. And if you don't get playful now, when? Look at me. I'm doing crazy stuff right here. So once you move your brush and it becomes really wildfire on your page, take a black marker and find 2 or 3, maybe 4, but not more than that, little areas that kind of stand out, that kind of draw your attention. And those will be your messages. Amazingly, in my collage, I found number 28, which is the year where the new children are being born. They're going to start being conceived in 2027. And 2028, the new transparent, open-hearted, very powerful, open-minded children are coming into the world, according to human design Ra Urahu. Ra is the sun. So maybe he knows something. And the other thing that surprised me, it was that the word diamond in Russian language showed up in my work and in my images. And before then, it actually showed up in my painting. So I believe everything is connected, what I'm working on right now. So find the focus and swirl the frame from that spot. So I often paint with the fingers and also with anything that gets into my hand. Again, lack of skill. I'm much more sensitive to something that I can hold. So if you haven't done a lot of work with the brush, that's a savior. It helps a lot. And also, I like to work with the negative space. Like right now, I'm emphasizing what's inside. So I'm softening that place. And if I work with the brush, it's not going to be soft. So anything that you want to soften up, that would be the easiest way to do it. And of course, you want to create more, which I would absolutely encourage you to continue with that. If you are creating the faces, remember that faces have the lights. So I just use my finger and I just add some lights. And again, if you're not a trained artist, you might not necessarily know where the lights are. So you just, it's a trial and error kind of work. So you can look in the mirror and find your cheeks somewhere. But definitely the lightest place is here. And when I don't emphasize the spot here, the beings come out not enough life in them. So if you want to bring more life to your beings, add the sparks of the thought and the sparks in the eyes, like here, for example. And it will help a lot later on when you start defining everything. So next time I'm gonna continue painting and I'm gonna continue showing little parts that need to be emphasized. But I'm happy with where I am. She is a mountain with the very beautiful foundation, and she's actually coming out more and more. So it's all good.
You claim all the gifts that the fire brought you.
Anything unexpected, maybe?
And allowing that spark that started today to percolate and continuing percolating throughout the week.
I've done it, and then 3 hours later, some other thing came up, and then right before the session, some other thing came up. It's gonna keep talking to you. So it's good to start talking to it. There is something about the thought and reaction to the thought that creates the pebble in the field of all possibilities, that creates the standing wave from which the situation becomes the reality. So we do a lot here, but we rarely come to the moment of actual creation. So these classes are for us to enjoy and practice the creation of material form, because we can create with our mind really wonderful, and a lot of ideas remain in that place. So for me, for example, I know for sure that when I put it into the material form, even if it's not real, like a painting, it is real, but not necessarily real, it becomes a reality later on. Because everything is energy and information. Anything and everything is vibrational information. And so when that vibration is multiplied and charged by our focus, even for 10, 15, 20 minutes, it's a lot of focus. The thought is very fast. We talked about speed of light, speed of thought is very fast. So it goes. But when we are doing something with our hands, in the material plane, material is slow. It's a slow down informational thing. What happens is that we are able to grasp the materia, not just the thought of the materia. And when that happens, amazing alchemical changes are present pretty fast, still very fast. So I encourage you to grasp as much as you can. From that collage on, there will be some amazing revelation and fire sparks. And I want to show one little piece of it here. You see this girl? She is trying to burst her own bubble. You see?
Mm-hmm.
It tells me I have to push my limitations further away. So they don't limit me that much. I have the amazing conversations from the piece of newspaper. I'm like, really? Is that what it is?
Yeah, allowing it to keep percolating, to keep those embers, for the embers to remain alive. We're in the final stretch, 2 more elements to play with.
Make it as real as you can for yourself, because this is dedicated time. We usually don't have much dedicated time to our own creative thoughts and processes. And journal. If you have time right now, create and journal definitely, because what you ask comes back to you in the form of thought, of the plan, sometimes with an intent. And when you write it down, it will help you to remember. I sometimes open my collages from before and I see things have been manifesting. It's really rewarding to see that this technology does work. I actually want to read the poem. The
Okay.
Queen of Dragons, just to awaken our field. The Queen of Dragons, she thrives on fire. It feeds her soul and brightens her day. Engaged with life, she purifies her desires and invites you to jump into the heat through her magic gateway. Cleansing fire makes her stronger, not vulnerable. Unpredictable, it burns rapidly through all nonsense, finding the golden mean between the wild and the comfortable. She helps you discard non-essential context. Surfing steadily through the emotional waves with affinity, nurturing your dreams with benevolence and wholeness. She relieves your high expectations and synchronizes you with infinity. She is a gift of rapturing light that fires up your creative boldness. And with that, one of our poems and cards from our set, we send you off into the fire of creation of this week.
Keep your imagination well tended and its embers glowing.